basically like a little modern twist on the redheaded
Pretty Woman.
prostitute.
Oh,
Yeah,
Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, except Jennifer Lopez didn't sell her body for sex.
Yeah, but still.
She cleaned hotel rooms
changed the
to
sheets
pay the bill. Again, important to remember, didn't sell her body for
But
sex.
still. I had to flush somebody else's
Had to get rid of everything. Start anew with your own toilet.
Yeah. I had taken my shirt off.
Hang on. What? I know you're in Gurney. You don't have to act like it.
The rich man fell in love with the gutter people. No?
Okay.
Am I off?
So, if you're in the service industry, it's important to recognize what Steve now thinks of you. This is weeks after a slip of the tongue that he wouldn't mingle with the poor people of Jamaica. And now he's calling maids and service people, they're gutter people.
I don't know. I feel like that was taken out of context. Maybe not. It might have been totally in context.
Part of me would like to hear what context I possibly missed, because that went noticed, obviously, as you heard during the podcast, as by the last. That not only me, though, Steve.
I saw. Was it Jesse?
Friend of the show, Jesse Douglas. You've met him. He's given us cheese.
He has. It's delicious. He works in the service industry.
And you offended him, not even indirectly, pretty much to his face. He sends a... Now, when did this last episode... Okay, so it was August 30th.
Yeah, a week ago, roughly.
At Steve and Kyle. Just cleaning toilets and sweeping stairs, minding my own business. And Steve starts firing shots at custodial workers. WTF.
I don't think... No, that I never said custodial workers.
We narrowed it down, though, to the service industry in that regard.
I mean, that's...
You have now taken a shot...
That's open to interpretation.
In the last 3 weeks, Steve has taken a shot at maids or housekeepers in hotels, as well as Jamaican people as a whole. This is like... I didn't know when I signed on to do this podcast that I'd be doing it next to Shock Jock here.
Yeah, just fish in a barrel.
Anything you
what's
wanna...
your profession? Pew!
Yeah.
Oh, you're a lawyer? Pew!
Anyone you want to, right off the top, fire off at today? Or are you okay early on?
No, I think I've made my hatred perfectly clear on.
And not only that, the only one to really send their appreciation to Jesse, a friend of this podcast since its inception, was the guy who didn't even do the offending. I said, this guy's true colors certainly are shining through. Yeah. I appreciate you, Jesse. Was met with a resounding silence from Steve's end, further indicating his true belief regarding custodial workers. So, Jesse, thank you for your patronage, listening, being a fan of the show, giving us cheese. I think I will speak for just me when I say that I appreciate you.
Anyway.
Boy, there was... I let that breathe if you wanted to rectify that situation.
I'm content with... No, Jesse, come on. You know the drill, and I feel as though he knows the drill.
Oh, there's no question.
He's not. I'm sure that if he was really mad, he wouldn't have taken the time to tweet that. But yeah, it's this is we talk stupid
as a whole. Though
we say dumb things all the time, and obviously nothing is meant to to insult people, to mock people. This is just I don't know. It's just what we do.
As a whole,
we're not man enough to make fun of people to their face.
Oh no, why would I?
So we record it and then send it out, and if somebody gets offended, we giggle and then we hide.
We've got these shiny blue microphones, that allow us that privilege to take shots from behind them.
Yeah, that's right.
And I don't have to worry about addressing anybody because I don't have live shows. If I truly offend someone, you're the one that has to face the wrath. Even if it's
Jesse's in Green Bay too. We got a live show.
Even if it's me. Like if I say something, like let's say because I did. Let's say somebody took my 4-H commentary the way I intended it to be taken, farm school,
yeah,
and you were insulted by that, which you should be because that was my intent. Steve will be the one bearing the brunt of any anger.
I know that,
because you'll never see me mostly unless this podcast starts hitting the festival circuit.
I'm gonna have some mad 6'4" farmer in overalls with like pig crap on his arm.
Yeah,
coming up to me saying, "Hey, are you Kyle?"
Only half of his rodeo clown paint washed off. Because if you remember,
right.
Maybe that's what's trying to become like the 5th H is rodeo clowning. Like it's just on the outside. They're like, we need into the H's. Nobody's giving us respect.
Rodeo clowns.
So So Steve, you're the poor sap though, who out there in the field, you're going to be sitting there with your morning show. You're going to be, oh man, I can't believe all these people came out, and you're going to have.
I'm out there in the trenches.
You're and then you're going to have a guy come in literally from the trenches with a boot full of mud, and stomp up to your table up front and say he's got an issue with you. Or you, Kyle, and you're going to have to listen to it.
Yeah.
Sorry about your luck.
Boy, do we have some big news.
Oh, yes, finally.
Huge news. Well, first of all, it's Monday, September 3rd, 2018, the year of our Lord. It's the Steve and Kyle podcast. And it's Labor Day. Happy Labor Day. Hopefully, when you're listening to this, hopefully you enjoyed your day off in the past.
Some of us are working.
Some of it, yeah. I mean, we're here. We're here laboring.
Punching the clock.
By the way, do you have anyone on Facebook that gets Labor Day and Memorial Day confused?
No, I'd have to check today. I wonder, you think there's going to be some, like, thank the soldiers posts?
I got a couple of, one specifically. I had a friend who did the whole, posted the picture where it is taken from, like, the back of a military transport plane.
Oh.
With a bunch of caskets draped in flags, and it says, the next time you think it's about a 3-day weekend. And I had to just give him a little nudge and be like, hey, man, sorry, that's not what Labor Day is.
I mean, soldiers still pass away on Labor Day weekend, Steve.
Oh, I'm sure they do. Yeah. And that's terrible. Yeah. And obviously nobody wants to see that. But that would be like posting that meme on... I don't know, Arbor Day. It doesn't really apply in this situation.
Trees die on Arbor Day too, Steve.
Well,
I don't know what...
Soldiers probably die on Arbor Day,
what
too.
Your problem is with trees and soldiers now.
So I had to give them a little nudge. Be like, hey, man, you might want to delete that or like backdate that post so you don't look like an idiot.
I had a family member on Facebook, and I think we all do. And this is a lot of the reason why I don't like having family on Facebook. Well, one, because I say some crude things.
I thought you were going to stop that sentence after. That's another reason I don't like having family.
This kind is. Yeah. I unfriended this person following this disaster.
Nice.
And it was a couple of years ago. And
let me guess, something that was completely non-political that they made political?
I guess you could frame it that way.
Was it like a plane crash and they said, like, this is what happens when the liberals are in charge?
Thank God, no. What happened was a couple of years ago, the picture from Tropic Thunder went viral.
Oh, yeah.
Like them, like the guys, Robert Downey Jr. in blackface, Jack Black, like, but the picture was, I think it was thrown in with some black and white, made it look faded. Mm-hmm. And the meme, or the post, was essentially about, like, don't forget our veterans or our soldiers today.
Oh, boy.
And I just said, like, I commented something like, is this a joke, or what's like... Because this person in my extended family was a soldier.
They just hit share.
Yeah. It's like, no, is it supposed to be? It's like, well, it's a... still from a comedy movie, and that's Robert Downey Jr. in black face paint. And then the response, and this is why I'm now no longer friends with family on Facebook, was something along the lines of, well, the message still stands.
I agree with them. I don't know what your problem is, Kyle.
if you can't respect the fake movie soldiers, who can you respect?
Hey, I'm sure that they would have had real soldiers in that movie if they could. But they were off at war.
Did you ever, waiting for Arbor Day. Did you ever see the, boy, I'm forgetting what I was going to say now, but it was something about Tropic Thunder. I'm sorry, I forget.
That's all right. We were getting ready to make the big announcement.
Oh, yes. It's exciting.
And, we already got sidetracked once, so if it happens to come back to you, you just...
I'll just jump back in.
You just blurt it out at any time.
We got to close that thread. It can't remain open.
Now, up on the Jumbotron here, I just happen to have a random website pulled up with a news story that I want to talk about at some point. If we get to it today, cool. But that is not the point. Don't even focus on the upper 90% of the screen. What I want you to focus on is this bottom 10%. Now, I have my ad blocker turned off, so I got a pop-up ad like you see all the time. Hey, buy Clorox, Tide Pods, whatever.
Yeah.
Buy the new Toyota car, but this one is for a website called Redbubble. Redbubble is a custom T-shirt website.
Sure.
So if you have a one-off design, you go to this website. You say, "Oh, this would be funny for our softball team or for a company outing." Put the image in there. You can order a bunch of them. You don't have to pay the absurd charges of like the setup fees if you were to go to a brick and mortar printer place.
Mm-hmm.
Take a look at that first image in the Redbubble ad. What's that look like to you?
Well, there's a lot of designs down there, Steve. You've got your 5 things my husband is better than yours at, or whatever.
I love my comedy, wife.
Scroll to the left.
Your ass is grass, and I'm the lawnmower.
Why don't we have that on anything? That was ours, right?
Yeah.
Didn't we steal that?
Philip, you got to do something with that. Your ass is grass, and I'm the lawnmower.
Nikki, you need to find when Steve said that. If there's ever the least informative needle in a haystack, that's the one.
Nikki, find that time I said tacos are good.
Right? That's going to be a merch. So I'm scrolling. Look at that beauty, Steve. That's first on the left side there. Yeah. Wow, that is our beautifully designed logo.
Wait, I think that... Oh, never mind. I was going to say I could play some triumphant music.
Could have gotten us some fanfare.
Big announcement music. If you give me 40 to 120 seconds.
Oh, okay. So we just need to burn a little...
Has that story come back to you?
Not at all.
Something about Tropic Thunder?
Yeah, no, that thing's gone. But
Robert Downey Jr.?
To wrap that up, that is why. No more family gets added on Facebook. I can't do it. Now, the problem's going to be I have a child on the way in 6 short weeks.
Yeah.
Do I have to bite the bullet there and, add family?
Well, I would say do what I've done. Have them as friends, but mute them.
Okay.
That way they can still see stuff that you post, but you can't see stuff that they post.
I don't have to worry about it. Because I feel like...
And then you passive-aggressively take shots at them.
Right, which is where this is headed until I end up getting inevitably frustrated and deciding this isn't worth it and deleting everybody again.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Did we
got anything else? Got like another 12 seconds or so.
So to recap, we're running off iPad Generation 1, right?
Yeah.
Is this first gen?
Yeah.
Is it really?
It's
still kicking.
It's the iPad Mini. First generation.
Oh, man, it outlived Steve Jobs.
Oh, come on. It's just terrible. First of all, it didn't come out until after Steve Jobs died. Steve Jobs was completely opposed to the iPad Mini.
Was he really?
And then he croaked.
So he didn't have a choice in the matter. Well, maybe he shouldn't have tried to rub leaves on his pancreas and should have actually tried to fix it.
Yeah. Well, okay. You're now mocking... man for dying of cancer.
I mean, he didn't. He was notably against traditional treatment. Mm-hmm. That would have prolonged his life, right?
Like for a while, he would only eat things that were like one color or something. Like you'd only eat things that were orange or green or.
Why are all of our geniuses so weird?
I don't know.
Like what is? I mean, obviously, to have that type of intellect and be able to create things like that, something is obviously wired.
You gotta have
differently.
you gotta have like a mental block on the
right
on the normal side of the brain, like the brain, the part of the brain that makes all the rational decisions.
Yeah. And now there's two people or two instances in which I've heard of people who only eat things of one color, and one of them is the rock band Van Halen on their rider or whatever. I think they only want like brown M&Ms.
Yeah, I think that was one of those things that was blown out of proportion.
Probably.
It was on the rider, but it was on the rider just to make sure
They're
that
reading
people
it.
actually
Right.
read the rider.
But that's the instance.
Yeah.
And now Steve Jobs.
Yep.
So I don't know how those two compare. Van Halen
Right.
and Steve Jobs.
Who's bigger? Van Halen or Steve Jobs?
Do you think today or like
I
as a
think
whole?
as a whole.
At their peak? Well, all I know is Apple's worth $1 trillion.
Yeah.
And Van Halen Ping Pong's lead singers.
Yeah.
It has to be Steve Jobs.
It's got to be Steve Jobs.
If
Maybe
you-
that can be the poll this week. Who's bigger?
Yeah.
And then no explanation given.
If I walk out into the streets and I say, who's more recognizable to you? Or if I had like a picture, Steve, no name, Steve Jobs, and then either David Lee Roth or whoever, Sammy Hagar or the whole.
I think it's got to be David Lee Roth.
So you do either of
maybe the
those.
whole band. Whole band.
Who do you think is recognized quicker?
Ooh. Steve Jobs.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think it's a day and age thing though too. I mean, obviously,
depends on who you're. If you're asking a 25-year-old, it's probably going to be Steve Jobs. If you're asking a 40-year-old, it's probably going to be Van Halen.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I could. I mean, I think I've seen him. I'd recognize them both, but David Lee Roth for me would be, even if it was an instant longer than Steve Jobs being like, oh, I know that guy. He's the one who decided to drink honey and think it would attack the cancer cells in his body.
All right. So after what now? Roughly 12 minutes and numerous sidetracks, it's finally time.
Did she fire up?
If you go to StephenKyle.com, click on the button in the top right corner, you can now buy garbage merch for this podcast.
Woo! It took us
Way too long.
way too long. We finally, you finally got the wheels turning last week.
Yeah, there was a lot of things that had to be done because we wanted to offer up a bunch of different merch from primarily images that Philip had designed. But
Hey, don't go discrediting yourself, Steve.
Well, I mean, it did take a couple hours. I bet it took longer for me to do that one logo than it took for Philip to do like the other 8 or however many that he submitted.
Again, oh yeah.
But if you go to StephenKyle.com, which is our main podcast page, it's the main hub. You can get to all of our social media from there. You can get to all of episodes of the podcast from there. You can subscribe there. Go to StephenKyle.com, and in the top right corner, there's a little button that says Get Merch Here. You'll notice the image is of Stevie Tortellini, and there's a little button that says Review My Portfolio. If you click there, it'll take you to Redbubble, which is the website we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
It'll take you to our profile page on there, and there are a bunch of different options. Currently, there are 11 different options of logos that you can get put on merch. Now, it's not just T-shirts. You can do mini skirts. You can do dresses.
A couple of them have leggings.
You can do
Coffee mugs, travel mugs,
yeah, it's
throw
insane.
pillows. It's the options that this website, and that's part of the reason we went with this was, well, mainly because it was easy for us, and second because the options are so silly.
Yeah, they're ridiculous.
Large. I mean, there's journals. You can buy phone cases, laptop skins, all this different stuff with these idiotic designs that Philip and our brains have come up with. Now, we will be adding them. If you're at Redbubble, if you're at our page, again, just go to StephenKyle.com. It's right on the top right corner. You cannot miss it. It's not the most attractive thing, but Steve, you made a beautiful workaround to even allow us to have that, to make it accessible from our website.
Yeah, they didn't make it too easy to do that. Hopefully, the website company or the company that hosts our podcast, Libsyn, I'd emailed back and forth with them, and I think that they're going to try to incorporate a cleaner way to do this at some point. But this will work for now. And so if you go there, you can buy the Stephen Kyle podcast logo stuff. Stevie Tortellini, the Stephen Kyle caricature ones, the Steve only pukes with his shirt off. The Steve and Kyle logo that is strangely familiar to another fashion brand.
Well, if there's one thing we know, Steve, it's very closely imitating more popular things and hoping we don't get sued.
Yeah, exactly. We got Ray Connections, James Brown's Legs, Piano Pals. So far we've had one order.
Without any fanfare,
which is strange
though.
because we didn't have it. It wasn't posted anywhere. I guess if somebody had gone to our podcast website, steveandkyle.com, within the last couple days, it was up there. So maybe they saw it and said, "Oh, let me give this a click." But yeah. Now when you order something, we don't have. I just want to stress, we don't have anything to do with fulfilling these orders. It's all Redbubble. They take care of it. They print it. They ship it. So if you like what you get from them, be sure to give them a positive review or go back and review the item. If you're not happy with it, make sure you get in touch with them because and let us know too. Because if something comes out and it looks kind of screwy, let us know. Plus, if there's something that you want, say you want to order a shirt and you click on it and it doesn't look right, maybe the logo looks like it's a little bit off or something, let us know before you order it. Let us know what you're getting, what size you're getting, just why it looks weird. If you can send us a screenshot, because we can go in and adjust things.
Yeah, if the logo's off-centered, or if, it cut off a word, which we tried to design all of it on the specific merch that it would look great, but things happen.
Sure. Plus, there are a million different variables.
Right.
Like they offer phone cases and laptop cases and things like that. And for us to sit there and go through and adjust the image for every single phone that's available, ridiculous. So if you have an iPhone 4 and you want the Piano Pals logo on it, but it doesn't look right, let us know. We can go in and specifically adjust it, and then you can order. We just want to make sure that if you're gracious enough to spend money to promote this stupid podcast, it at least comes out looking good.
Yeah, and we can tell you the prices listed there we are not making hardly any. I think we made more money on the T-shirts we self-printed and self-shipped.
I think we made $2 or something on those
Okay,
shirts.
so it's about identical.
Yeah.
And Philip is nice enough to design all of these things. So if the prices are, if you look at something and you say, hey, this is whatever, it feels high or feels silly, just let us know. We can take a look. We can adjust some things if it's still possible to do, if you're willing to buy something. And also any design ideas you have. We've got, off the top of my head, there's 4 more coming this week that I know of that we're in with the works to put up there, that should be up there. So anything that you remember from the show that we talked about in the previous 2 years and 2 months of this podcast that we said, that'd be good on a shirt. Now would be the time to remind us and see if we can tough talk and strong arm Philip.
Yeah, hey Philip, go back and listen to this podcast from a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
try and come up with context for this.
Listen to our design.
We still need limbs for limbs.
Yeah, we do need a limbs for limbs charity box off.
But also important to note that the very limited amount of money because after you pay for them, we get a small percentage from Redbubble. Yeah. Philip, depending if Philip was the one that designs it, he gets a percentage of it, and but then any couple dollars left over, it's all going to APS 4.0.
Yeah, that's the plan. Slush fund to make this folding table reality.
Yeah,
more of a concrete table reality.
By the way, many sponsorship opportunities available for APS 4.0.
Sponsor everything there.
If you'd like to be a door sponsor, possibly a table sponsor,
we got big plans.
Concrete sponsor, maybe a drywall sponsor again.
This thing's going to look. Early design ideas are not in, but they're good. It's going to look very nice.
Well, they are, but they're in my head.
Right. It's the internal blueprint that, we've gone over a few things. We kind of know how we want the room laid out. That is that's where everything for now is going from the Redbubble shop is going right to the APS 4.0, so it's not out of pocket and can make the new studio for us. But again, it's if you want it, great. It's there. There's a lot of options. If there's something that's not an option, I don't know what you could possibly be looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of options. SteveandKyle.com. Give us your feedback, and again, if you happen to order something, Redbubble's great. They I had ordered a shirt from them a couple of months ago, and I had it within a week. It was very reasonably priced, I thought. The logo looks great on it. It's not like didn't seem like it was gonna peel off in a day or something, or as soon as it goes through the dryer. And I've worn the shirt a ton of times since then, so hopefully everything works out with that. But yeah, give us your reviews. Take a picture of you wearing the shirt, tweet it at us, or post to Facebook.
Right.
Put the hashtag garbage merch.
Yeah, so that's what we've been calling our nonsense since we've had it for about a year.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nicole made the very first order. Now, the merch shop was barely referenced last week at the very end of the episode. Somebody must have taken a hint and sought it out somehow. Nicole bought our very first sale, Steve, a beautiful colored Piano Pals shirt.
Now that the Piano Pals, some will say that this was inspired by a cartoon.
I don't know which one.
From back in the day, I can't. It just doesn't seem likely. This looks all original to me. It's
Head scratcher.
It's you sitting there, backwards, ball cap, sitting at the piano, sitting on the floor, playing a very tiny piano.
Yeah.
As I dance.
As you dance, eyes closed. Waving an arm.
Yeah, the little motion line so you can see that I'm really really shaking.
And of course, slapped on that mini piano is a sticker that says "Idiot Machine." That's from Philip, who has been generous enough to donate his time to, one, seemingly listening to this podcast, and two, drawing some of what has to be in the realm of the dumbest art he's ever done.
Yeah.
The things we've asked him and the things we continue to ask him are absurd.
I think I might order a Piano Pals clock.
I want a Piano Pal. I'm going to buy some Piano Pals merch. I want that in my life.
I really want this throw pillow.
It's nice.
It looks great. It's let's see. Okay, Piano Pal. Oh, wow, I can go up to a 36 by 36 inch pillow.
Oh, wow, that would take up some room. That's like a beanbag.
For the low price of like $55.
And there's drawstring bags that you wear around your back, obviously. Tote bags. There's, obviously, Steve mentioned pillows. There's posters, canvas prints, photo prints, all types of shirts, hooded sweatshirts, and greeting cards, spiral notebooks, stickers are on there.
It is key that if you order anything and you happen to find yourself with a ticket to a Free Beer and Hot Wings live show, you need to wear the hell out of this stuff.
Now, because
if somebody shows up to our like a Green Bay show coming up in a couple of months,
Jesse,
wearing Piano Pals leggings,
oh my God,
you're getting to sit up on the stage.
You're because listen, here's the key.
Not like that's anything at all.
Well, a lot of times though, Steve, you're the one out there picking people for games and contests, and what is going to get your attention more than a Piano Pals A-line dress? Now, I might not know what that is, but maybe some women do because it's a dress.
Now, be sure that when you're looking at, like right now I clicked on Piano Pals, so it's listing all the stuff down below. Now it has apparel, wall art, home decor. Now, be sure that you click on the right arrow down at the end because it usually shows like four pieces of merch.
Yeah.
Click on. There are a ton of things on there. Graphic T-shirt, dress. That A-line dress just looks like you're wearing a towel with a head hole cut in it.
I believe we only have leggings, Steve, on one item, but I need someone to buy them because leggings, the way the design works, it looks so weird unless we specifically design art for this shape.
Well, I think because we can reduce the image size and then do like a checkerboard pattern.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. I didn't even think about that. That would make a lot more sense.
Yeah, first one to show up with a Piano Pals mini skirt gets a $20 bill out of my pocket.
There it is, man. It's the logo that you spent more than an hour on. And it's my...
Oh, that's the leggings, right?
It's our faces in jumbo size.
Right, one on each leg. I'm on the right leg.
And the cigarette's hanging out of my mouth. And that could be on your leggings.
Yeah.
That's asinine. I don't know why that's a thing.
Yeah.
But again, that might not be a bad idea to reduce the size and checkerboard everything along so we can get leggings up for everything. Again, nobody wants those.
So again, steveandkyle.com. Click on the merch link in the top right corner of the website. You can't miss it. Stevie Tortellini Pizza logo. Just click right on that. And there you go. Philip, you happy now, buddy? You've been pressuring us for months.
We were getting some grief from some listeners,
strong-arming us. Yeah. Man, making us do work.
And now, you know what the important thing is that's a lot different than 1 year ago, is the onus is 100% off you and I now.
Isn't that great?
Didn't it feel nice? Because last year we were trying to get money from people who said they wanted a shirt, they didn't want a shirt, so we had too many shirts and then not enough shirts. And
that shirt, by the way, the 2017 World Tour, I think we're going to try and reissue that.
Yeah, we have to I'll have to figure that out. I'm not good with computers. And can I do that in Paint?
Yeah.
Can I get some Microsoft Paint?
Yeah, definitely.
So just make it huge then?
Yeah. Now, I want to get to something real quick. Remember I said I had a website pulled up here on the Jumbotron, but...
Yeah, for the sponsored ad, right? That's it? That's the only reason?
Well, no, I'm going to scroll up, and what do you see here?
Oh!
Why don't you read that headline?
Riders rescued after Six Flags Great America roller coaster stops midway through ride.
Go ahead, ask me.
Is that the roller coaster you went on?
Yeah, that was the last one we went on for the day.
So that the Six Flags Great America is the one that you guys were at.
Just look at Thrill Seekers.
Double E?
Thrill Seekers in Illinois.
Double E, never the Y.
Gurney, Illinois.
As our friend S. Robbie Maxo put it, Double E, never Y. When talking about Gurney.
Yeah, this.
Look at that. Wow, so how many days removed?
This was on... Doug had sent this to me yesterday. Oh, this is from September 2nd. Okay, so this was from yesterday's news. I'm assuming it was from the day before, though. Yeah, it was on Saturday. So that was exactly 1 week ago.
Wow.
1 week earlier, I was on that very same ride.
And
the roller coaster Demon.
It looks like it stopped on its very first...
It was just about to get over the like, you know how you get in and they pull you up the clink, 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 all the way up to the top. And just as it was about to go over the hill, it stopped. So people had to get out and walk down.
Seriously?
Yeah, look, you can see them right here.
Oh, I wouldn't do it.
What would you do?
I'd send a fire truck with a ladder.
Wouldn't that be the same thing?
Well, a fire truck with maybe like a basket then? Not walking down that death track.
Well, it's just stairs.
It's like a 60-degree angle there.
It's the same angle as stairs.
Oh, that's asinine. No way, man. That's like a
so you'd rather get
high-speed downland or downhill conveyor belt there. No, thank you.
So you'd rather get into the bucket of a fire truck where you're just swinging around and you have no control over it.
Oh, that's a massive steel arm connected to a life-saving truck, Steve.
Right, but this is a massive steel structure with steps.
That just broke once.
Well, the part of it broke. Come on.
If you told me at the height of a roller coaster, say, hey, everyone, unstrap, get out and wander down.
You're not doing it?
I'm not doing it. First of all, I'm not there to do the work. Get me to home base however you have to. I don't give a damn.
So you'd rather they just keep you in there and, like, when they finally figure out how to get it unstuck, you just go over the hill with it.
Either that or they can, shoot it backward into the gate. Right?
So you want to go backwards down that hill into the...
Hey, it's not my 2 feet that are going to fall between a railroad tie or whatever they use on those things.
I feel like you'd probably be more safe just walking down the hill.
I don't see any, handrails.
No, there definitely are.
I don't see it. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
you can zoom in and make it blurrier. That's not going to change my opinion.
That's a handrail right there.
I don't see any handrails. So they're just walking down the track, huh?
Nope. No, once again, there are stairs.
Right down the steel track there, isn't it like a bunch of just gap underneath? Isn't it just dead air underneath the two steel tracks?
To reiterate, there are stairs. You're not walking down the tracks.
I feel like you need to scroll. I don't know if there's stairs.
Okay.
Safety sensors stop the
Rescue,
rip, so they don't know what went wrong. Yeah, those things are safe. You should go on those more. Wow, extensive article.
I know there's really nothing. It's like the worst article ever.
Good
This
God.
is not the ride some thrill seekers in Illinois had expected. A roller coaster at Six Flags Great America stopped midway on its first ascent up the track. Rescuers had to come in and pull people down to safety. Everyone is all right. The coaster's safety sensors stopped, but park officials say they don't yet know
handrail on that
exactly
outside.
what went wrong.
You nuts go back like 4 seconds. They had to zoom in. There's no chance. On the
Pull people
outside
down to
portion
safety.
where
Everyone
those
is all
stairs
right.
are,
The
Steve.
coaster-
Look at that. Pause
are you
that.
talking
Look at it on this side. There's no handrail. It's just open air, ready for you to fall down and die.
What is this right here? Look, this is a post right here to a handrail. This woman's hands are on the handrail.
Oh, I don't see that at all.
So you think that they built this roller coaster with these stairs there as the emergency escape, and you feel as though they built it without handrails?
Well, if you're talking about building stairs on a roller coaster, I think the discussion needs to move to why the hell are you even building these things if they don't trust the roller coaster, Steve?
Well, that's like saying, why are there airbags in cars? Because you shouldn't get in accidents.
Well, yeah, but I'm not controlling the roller coaster, damn it. It's a robot. You should fix it.
it's a robot.
This thing's a machine. I mean,
right.
listen,
Well-
carnies who tour the country, they bring their rides out of a truck bed.
This is a stationary object.
Yeah, they probably have more safety measures than these things.
All right. Well, we can always go to our chief roller coaster correspondent, Doug. We can get him on the phone to ask him if there is indeed a handrail.
Oh, I wonder what he's going to side on the guy who travels the country riding roller coaster. I wonder if he's going to side with the roller coasters.
Well, he's probably going to say yes if there is one or no if there's not.
Why don't we get the leading anti-roller coaster expert on as well and see what he thinks?
All right, we're going to do a little bit of research right now. This roller coaster is called Demon.
But I do have another story sent to us from our friend S. Robbie Mack, our friend in the United States Postal Service,
Oh, boy.
defending the end of the driveway
From
down in his home in North Carolina from all the end of the driveway intruders. He sent a link to a story it's from Albany, but it's about Double E Never Y, the very same town, Steve, Gurnee, Illinois.
Really?
Thrill seekers, take a look at this. Six Flags Great America in Gurnee says it will be home to North America's fastest launch roller coaster starting next year.
Yeah. Oh, I heard all about this last week.
The ride will also break 2 other records. So my question,
Okay.
why the hell did you go last week? Why didn't you go in the spring when they got this new thing?
Oh, I don't think it's going to be ready by spring.
It won't be ready for the next season?
No, I don't think so. I think they're going to start building it next year. Look, this is all the info that I've gotten from my roller coaster friend, Doug. He knows all about this. He goes on all the Roller Coaster Insider websites.
Member of the forums?
Yeah.
Like a moderator?
Because I feel like if there was going to be some big roller coaster there by next year, they probably would have started building it by now, and we didn't see it.
Called Max Force, Six Flags Great America, new for 2019.
Oh, well, maybe. I'm just going to have to go back then. I'm going to have to get my get my revenge on the toilet that I puked in.
Well, at this point, you know the waitresses at the local Hooters. Mm-hmm. You have pissed off the waitress at the local Golden Corral
Oh, that I don't care about.
by refusing steadfastly to tip.
See okay. This is why tipping always ends up being weird, because like for the most part I did the work at that restaurant. I went up, I got my food from the buffet. Sure, they made it. Mm-hmm. But like they also make the food at McDonald's, but I don't tip at McDonald's. Where's the difference?
I would argue
Why is it
them cleaning your plates off, doing that? Because that's what happens at a buffet. Typically, you put your plate.
So that's it then.
They're refilling your drink. Does that happen, or you do that at your own? I've never been to a Golden Corral.
I did
your own?
I got the orange juice from the little dispenser.
I think it's you're being served at the table type of thing. Like they're cleaning your plates off.
Because like if you compare Golden Corral to McDonald's, basically the same thing is happening. Mm-hmm. I'm going in, I'm paying, I'm taking my food, sitting at my seat. The only thing is that they're cleaning they're taking my plate and putting it in a dishwasher. That's it.
And you refuse to acknowledge those people?
No, I don't refuse. I just didn't even think about it.
Oh, okay. So in this instance, you don't even consider the people.
All right. So on if you're at Golden Corral, your bill is, I think it was 9 something for my breakfast.
Sure.
How much you leaving?
$2.
$2, huh?
About 20%.
Yeah, that seems totally fair. I
could see you could do, maybe $1, $1.50, maybe round it up. Let's say it's $9.45. You do $1.55 to make it an even 11.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very strange.
I always feel weird because in those instances, I never do know what to do because you're paying, like you said, you did this too. You pay before you sit down in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
So you're paying for a service you have yet to receive.
Yeah.
That you don't know what it is. Now, some places they fill your drink for you.
Yep.
Some places they clean your plates, whatever.
I just wish that we could do away with tipping. It's because I think that's it is like a uniquely American thing.
Yeah.
Why can't we just do away with it? Charge a little bit more for everything.
Whoa! Bite your tongue a second.
Any service. Well, it's the weird thing. Like, man, if UPS comes to my door and drops off a package, I don't tip them. But if somebody brings a washing machine to my house,
you're supposed to.
I feel the need to tip them.
See, I don't do that.
But they're doing the same. They're doing the same thing.
Here's the thing: if I'm paying somebody, so if I'm getting a washing machine, and whoever the big box store says it's $50 for delivery, I'm not going to tip on that. Am I in the wrong?
I think you are. I think that a delivery person would say that you are because.
Well, sure, if you go to the source.
Yeah.
I mean, they're obviously going to,
Oh, this is going to open up the whole can of worms on tipping.
But I guess if it's rolled into the price is it a listed additional cost, like I'm saying with the delivery charge. Now, you go to a place like a pizza place or whatever, and they explicitly write hey, the delivery fee on this does not compensate the driver additionally. Right. So make sure, this does not include a tip.
I hate. That's your employee.
Yeah.
You're responsible for paying
Right.
them.
A portion of that should be going to the employee. I don't know. It's a weird industry because it's so, speaking of the devil, roller coaster, hey, $3, no bucks. There's tips, there's no tips, there's big tips. You see viral stories about, pastors leaving, I'll pray for you as a tip, and then you see a celebrity leaving $600.
Yeah.
You're probably right that it needs to be done away with.
Have you seen the latest one? It's the Tip the Bill Challenge.
No.
So you go to a restaurant, and your final bill is $41.20. You then tip $41.20 on top of that.
No. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, I saw a friend of mine took a picture of his bill and posted it on Facebook and wrote, I just did the Tip the Bill challenge. You're just bragging.
Yeah.
You're just bragging about leaving a good tip.
Now, maybe if I'm,
Because the picture of the bill is to be taken by the server who got the tip.
Right.
Not the person who left the tip.
Right. Now, if I'm 22-year-old Kyle, 22, sorry, let me correct that. Now, if I'm 22-year-old Fizzed,
yeah.
Maybe I tip the bill.
Wow, really?
31 now. What? Listen, 22-year-old Fizzed was out there hunting for numbers.
Trying to pick up Sadie. Telling her she's banging.
Still waiting for that call.
Yo, Sadie, you banging.
Still waiting to hear back. Haven't changed my number for that explicit reason.
You probably...
Assuming.
I bet that are you a left-handed writer?
Righty,
Oh,
typically.
I thought maybe because like when
You think maybe I wrote left-handed?
when lefties write, it kind of smears the ink because their hand drags
Is
through
all on it? Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you wrote lefty that night.
Oh, man.
Smeared the ink.
Damn.
Damn my drunk ambidextrousness. Happens all the time.
Oh, boy, I can't help myself.
Yeah.
Boy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I fall. You're probably right. If tipping went away, I don't think anybody would be offended. Now,
No.
Would 19-year-old college girls serving at a bar by campus probably be upset?
Well,
sure.
I think that, it's not like you can just take away tipping. You obviously have to compensate the employees.
Right. You say it's not necessary?
Compensate the employees for the job that they're doing instead of, for some reason, why it's service industry people, like people who work in restaurants, why it's legal to pay them like $2.09 an hour.
Truly baffling.
Or whatever it is. I still don't understand that at all. They're doing difficult work. They're doing, and even if it's not difficult, they're still doing a job that is a legal job. Why don't they get paid as
the same wage that minimum wage is everywhere
Right.
else? And then you'd think one, I know why restaurants don't do it, but then they could just change their receipts or whatever, say tipping is optional type of thing.
Yeah.
Not necessary. I don't know. It's definitely a thing of the past, right?
Yeah. What the hell?
Like back in the flip a 50-cent piece on the way out and have it hit the bar. It's just been around forever.
There's a shilling for your troubles.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know, it's like the old guard refusing to change, though. I mean, you see pushback, even in sports. You see baseball. It's like, whoa, you want to put a clock in the outfield? Mm-hmm. The sanctity!
What would Abner Doubleday think?
Ty Cobb, while being racist, wouldn't have enjoyed that. It's weird. It's this defense that the old days are better.
Yeah, it's how it always was, so it's gotta.
It can't change
remain.
now.
Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. That I hate that way of thinking. Just because that's how it always has been, doesn't mean that that's the best.
So yeah, it says it is opening. This it's called the Max Force.
All right.
Triple record-breaking coaster, summer 2019, in the Carousel Plaza section.
Oh, okay. Because I remember Doug saying that there was I think last week was that dated like the end of last week? Then that big announcement.
Yeah. Well, I got the tweeted at us from S. Robbie Mack on the 30th of August.
Okay. Yeah, I remember Doug saying that they were gonna. Like Six Flags made all their big announcements of all the stuff that they were adding to parks for the next year, like at the end of last week. Mm-hmm. So makes
it's
sense.
kind of crazy that he actually chose to still go through with it when now a triple record breaker is opening up there next spring.
That won't stop him from going back, though.
0 to 78 miles per hour in under 2 seconds, Steve. The fastest launch in North America.
So what are the other? What are the other two records?
Fastest inversion of any coaster in the world.
Inversion.
I think that means it's going to send you upside down and on a loop faster than any coaster in the world.
Yeah, is it a loop or is it like one of the twists?
Good question. I don't know. We'd have to get the
right.
roller coaster expert to
Okay.
describe
Why don't we?
what an
Yeah, we'll
inversion is.
catalog all of our roller coaster questions.
Yeah, and have a big Q&A.
We'll call them. We'll knock them out. We'll say yes, no,
Yeah.
and then hang up once we get bored.
And then it says it will have the tallest double inversion in the world.
Okay, so I'm thinking that inversion is more than just a loop.
Must be going upside down, like a full roll, maybe.
Yeah,
You're
maybe.
inverting yourself.
Let's
Just Google roller coaster inversion, because that's where we are now. That's what this podcast is.
A roller coaster inversion is a roller coaster element in which the track turns riders upside down and then returns them to an upright position.
Okay.
Early forms of inversion dating back as far as 1848 on the centrifugal railway in Paris were vertical loops that were circular in nature.
I need to know what an 1848 train roller coaster was.
Yeah, it was steam powered.
Do you think the success ratio was like 40% on if you lived or died? I don't know. It looks pretty fun, but 2 to 1 says I die.
All right. I can't imagine there's a lot of video of this, but I need to see it.
I need to see what an 1848 coaster looks like.
All right. Let's see. Well, there it is right there. Boy, does that look like a train that's just going upside down.
Wouldn't that be horrifying?
Oh,
Those
yeah.
things barely... that was back in the era that if you put a penny on the track, you'd kill 100 people from it derailing.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Look at that disaster.
It's like a locomotive upside down.
Do you think
While
it
a bunch
was,
of people with stupid umbrellas look on.
Do you think it was just hold on to the bar or onto this railing real
Bar?
tight?
You think there was actually a bar?
Well, no, like in front. Like
No, I don't think there was that. I think that they just hoped that centrifugal force would keep you in.
Maybe you're right. Oh, my God. That looks terrifying. That is... nope. I'm good on roller coasters. I really hope my son doesn't like roller coasters.
I do like this very rudimentary drawing, though.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe throw in a cross brace every now and then or
So
something.
that was the whole thing, huh?
I guess so, yeah. So you start at the top of a hill, you go down, go around the loop-de-loop, and then there's a hill at the other side to stop you.
Hypothetically.
Yeah, in theory.
Because obviously, nowadays they have tracks and everything that slow your speed and, make you stop. With that, what if you hit the other side too hard?
Just keep
you
going.
come back.
Yeah,
back
like what
down
if you're,
and hit it again?
what if you're a big dude and like you got a little bit of weight behind you?
There's no doubt.
Oh man.
All right, well maybe that'll make you rethink the next time you jump onto one of those death machines.
Yeah, probably. It seems like my roller coaster days are
What happens?
bit behind me.
What happens if Doug calls you? Now, again, we keep mentioning Doug. I'm assuming everybody listened to last week's episode. Steve's friend Doug was here with us. We recapped your roller coaster adventures and how your stomach, your little tummy wummy, not able to handle all the adventures of a buffet breakfast.
By the way, I did get some support on the web poll last week.
Oh, my goodness. We need to get the final results because I believe the social media was...
it was back and forth because I was refreshing that every hour or so for I forget what day it was, but it was swinging like a pendulum back
a lot
and
closer
forth.
than it should have been. I'll say in my argument.
All right, here we go. Steve and Kyle podcast. Facebook poll. I'll pull up Facebook.
I've got
and pull up
Twitter ready.
Have you ever removed your shirt for the purpose of vomiting? Yes is the picture that Philip drew. It's like he was there. Me with
Your
no
two
shirt
hands.
on, my shirt hanging over the stall door, about to barf into a toilet. And the no picture is just a guy crouched on the floor in front of a toilet. Yes, Steve is normal. 53% of the vote.
Oh, how many votes?
81.
Whoa.
81 votes. Robert Sanders says, I once tried to remove my shirt from being too drunk and puked in it and slid down into my face. Never drinking tequila again. And as I said last week, that was my big fear. That was my fear, is that I didn't have enough
blowback.
time. Didn't have enough time to take the shirt off. No problem at all, though.
So it went in your favor.
Yeah, my favor on Facebook. Now, Twitter could be...
So on Twitter, have you ever removed your shirt for the purpose of vomiting?
Yeah.
Yes, Steve is normal. No, what the hell? Yes, Steve is normal. Received 32 votes.
32 votes or 32% of the vote?
No, what the hell? Received 58 votes.
Oh, no!
You were crushed on Twitter.
Social media has split.
And I think rightfully so. I still think
boy.
that's a quirk. Right? Would you admit that that's a bit of a quirk that you're
I
like,
do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that I'm normal because of that. I was surprised that I had more people in support of what I do.
Yeah, that was a shock to me. I thought that'd go 80-20. I really did.
By the way, big debate last week was how long it would take me to remove my shirt.
Oh, yes.
And when last week, after we recorded, I think it was the day after, Doug and I were doing something, and that came up. He's like, yeah, still, no way that you can do that. Before he finished his sentence, I grabbed the back of my shirt, like grabbed what would be like the scruff of the back of my shirt, and just ripped it over my head. And he was just like, whoa, that was really impressive.
So you think like 3 seconds, 3.5?
No, less than 1 second.
I still don't buy it.
Less than a second.
I don't buy it.
No.
I'm telling you, less than a second. That's too
Still,
fast.
5 seconds, though? Come on.
Five might be a bit
Five's
much.
way too long. I can do it 5 times in that amount of time.
I can give you 2. A 2 on you. 2 seconds?
No, it was... I don't even think it was a half a second.
Do you feel like rug burn? That's a scrape down your spine?
I'll be honest, I was surprised at how fast I did it.
Yeah, right.
But
in time of need, could you do it that way is the question.
yeah.
But, my curiosity would be Six Flags. You said it was it felt like 100 degrees, probably sticking to your back. You're in a bathroom, which is probably not air conditioned.
It wasn't that bad. I was definitely sweating, but it wasn't sweat sticking the shirt to my body. Like, it hadn't gotten to that point.
Which would hinder.
Definitely
Hinder the opportunities.
Yeah.
We also, Esther Robbie Mac chimed in on the poll. Every time I vomit, usually drunk, I strip completely naked.
There you go. I get it. I get it, man.
It's like the people go to the bathroom and have to fully disrobe. Like, that's so weird. I don't get it. Get it. So, yeah, that poll went south. While I'm looking at our Twitter, I know, Steve, you had that standard week of vacation that all normal workers have last week. You were off all week.
Yeah.
Haven't checked in with your coworkers yet, I'm assuming.
Let's see. There was one group text last weekend. So I haven't heard from any of them in a week.
So you haven't had a follow-up on the theft of the Fast Five, which we are using the hashtag Fake Five, because that would be thievery.
I saw a few tweets
hurled
towards some show members.
Hashtag Fake Five, hashtag Defend the Fast Five, if you'd like to chime in on that. Tag at FBHW, tag all of the show hosts as well. I'm not going to read all their Twitter handles. We had our friend, President Bill Pullum, as I so mispronounced it 1 week ago.
Did you really?
I believe I
don't even remember that.
I believe we were talking when I said we will not go quietly into the night.
Yeah.
I said, as our President Bill Pullum so beautifully said.
Close enough. As we've already said on this podcast, we like to get just close enough to the popular thing and then switch around a letter or two at the end.
So President Bill Pullum tweeted this past week the speech that the Steve and Kyle Army so needed, Steve.
All right, let's hear it.
My fellow Americans.
Do you need some...
could you actually pull up the music? I wonder if the background music from that speech...
I'm just going to get some patriotic music.
Okay, good. To make sure it's not too... I don't want it to overwhelm the speech.
Yeah. Let's see. 1.5 hours of patriotic music.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
For your July 4th. All right, let's see how this sounds.
It's probably going to be a little hot. Maybe just leave Greenwood on repeat.
When I moved in with Logan, I knew it'd be...
they're going to give us an ad.
Good. Yeah, why not? Yeah. All right, let's get through this ad. I should find Lee Greenwood. I bet that's a...
And I'm proud to be an American.
Probably copyrighted, though.
Where at least I know my fellow Americans.
Wait, do you want me to jump ahead past taps?
Oh, this isn't the uplifting part? This'll work.
No. We need something.
Was that Hark the Herald Angels sing?
Boy, maybe taps was more appropriate.
Maybe it was, right?
Oh, this is like we're on the front lines.
Yeah, charge in.
Ready to attack.
World War II era, it sounds like. A lot of good options here.
A lot of options.
This is the winner. Okay. Yes. Wow, it's a little silly. It is a very serious speech.
It does sound more circusy. Let's see.
And now we'll bring out the tigers. Okay, this will work. My fellow Americans, today, the army of the Steve and Kyle podcast is called into action. For too long, the Free Beer and Hot Wings show has quelled our liberties.
Yes.
For too long, they have pilfered our ideas.
Uh-huh.
First, they came for the Amazon Prime Studios. Then they came for History of the Mystery. Now, they have come for the Fast Five.
No, can't let it happen.
One of the core tenets of this great podcast. If we do not rise up now, what will they come for next? K-Mac? Piano Pals? P-Billy 4? 24-hour world tours to Boston? Lucky Billy? Or maybe they'll come for you.
Me?
Maybe they'll come for you. Well, they need to know. We will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we are not just Americans. We are members of the Steve and Kyle Podcast Army. Hey!
Way to go, President Pullum. Oh, we need a Randy Quaid.
Oh, don't worry. Whoever made the President Bill Pullum account, which I have my suspicions of who it was, also made a he follows 3 people, follows 90s Randy Quaid, which is another brand new Twitter account, because we had decided we need our Randy Quaid, but we need our 90s Randy Quaid because we don't want the crazy Randy Quaid after he went psycho and moved to Canada.
Yeah, the Star Whackers Randy Quaid.
Yeah.
So what does 90s Randy Quaid have to say?
USA flag emoji.
So he didn't make any kind of statement on this?
No, well, that was it. Yeah, he hasn't chimed in past that. So that's at 90s Randy Quaid on Twitter and at President Pullum. President Bill Pullum.
Pullum.
And that's like you'd pronounce it, Pullem. It's our two newest fans.
Oh, thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you, President. Thank you, Oh, God, is that falling again?
Yeah, it's about to fall.
So if there's ever a need to buy merch, it's now.
Yeah.
As Steve's microphone dangles on the precipice.
SteveandKyle.com. Mm-hmm. Top right corner, click that merch button.
Oh, man.
Get yourself a Piano Pals shirt. Maybe Philip can do a shirt of our microphones just constantly falling.
Mine's fine. Listen, I don't think I've ever touched.
Once?
Yeah, it's gotten loose once. I don't even know if I moved it. It's still in the same indent. Works beautifully.
Yeah,
just beautifully.
Not
well,
so
Steve,
much.
I did want to mention no fanfare for this time really. That because I've done this a couple of times since we've started this podcast, but yesterday was a different instance for me. First row WWE wrestling event.
You are going on the world tour, aren't you?
This thing. So when I say front row, I'll post the pictures of where my seats were, because they're what you see on like I was 1 inch away from the steps that go into the ring.
All right,
and the only thing holding me back was the poorly shrouded guardrail. That So this was my view.
Oh wow! So you were right there
looking up.
When Yokozuna came out.
Yep, him and the Ultimate Warrior had a
Macho Man
tables match. But let me tell you a little something about a wrestling crowd. Now, I know what to expect. I've watched and I've enjoyed wrestling for a while. Well, a couple of years actually, since I stopped watching for 15 years. And now I watch for much different reasons than in the 1990s.
Pretty loyal fan these days, though, right?
Yeah, I don't watch the TV every week, but I keep up with the pay-per-view and watch those every month.
All right.
So I'm keeping up on what's going on, at least, in the storylines. So everybody, a wrestling, it's kind of like a comic convention crowd, which I've also been to those. You get those people who aren't used to going out, being in public places.
A little pale.
A little off-looking, So we're sitting in the front row, like I said. Now, the only reason I mention that is because it's important for what happens around those seats. There's security at the end of every row, so obviously nobody gets an ID and jumps the rail or whatever. But after every match ends, the security person who's sitting facing away from the ring towards the crowd will stand up, fold the chair up, push it against the railing, and stand and move to the side, because kids then bum rush that corner to try to get
the autograph or the high five.
Yeah. Which, okay, I totally understand. A couple of kids next to us got a couple of shirts, an armband, autographs on their poster.
Now, this is a non-televised event.
Correct. Non-televised, so the wrestlers there, they have more fun. They're more relaxed.
What you would call a house show?
Yep. Yeah.
So a belt may change hands, but it
Very
doesn't-
rarely.
But it wouldn't mean anything in the grand scheme of
Yeah.
Like if you were to turn on Raw the next week, this show wouldn't be referenced.
Correct. They're not going to be talking about the house show unless something
its-
happened or somebody got hurt and they have to explain
it's
it.
its own universe.
Yep. Yeah. And it allows the wrestlers more freedom. You can tell they're having more fun. It's more comedic spots in the ring that they're doing. So
So are they out of character or
No.
in different character?
No, they're mostly in character, but, even like the first opening tag team match with the good guys and the bad guys, you could hear they both jumped out of the ring after they lost, put their arms around each other, and you could hear one of them say, "Man, that was fun."
Yeah.
Because they, just doing different things, and
Sure.
it's much more loose, and they're not on time. They don't have to worry about hitting a certain spot so they can get to a commercial break in time. They don't have to worry about, hey, you've got 30 seconds left, you better wrap it up immediately type
Sure.
of thing. That's not in their minds. So it's more relaxed. They can enjoy themselves, try out new things if they want. So these kids bum rush the corner, look for whatever, high fives, whatever they want. And that's fine. That's to be expected. What isn't to be expected is what I will call, because I need a description, a grown man. But when I say grown man, I mean adult man. This man was probably 5'6", maybe 5'5", sitting directly behind me and my friend who bought these tickets. And I don't think he's ever been more upset about anything. He didn't tell us this or he say anything, that he had row 2 seats instead of row 1 seats.
Gotcha. So he was jealous.
So, you know how these events go. You've sat on the floor or whatever at different events, right? And it's folding chairs. A lot of them, they're held together by a steel bar. Boom, boom. There's no space in between. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So it's me and my friend sitting in the far right seats. He's right behind. So how about this, Steve? Anytime any wrestler would come down the ramp or leave the ring after a match, stick his arm straight out in between him and I to get his arm over the rail to try to get a high five from a wrestler. I'm not kidding.
This is, as you said, a grown man.
Older than we are.
He's not a 10-year-old kid.
In his 40s with like not a soul pat, but like the one line beneath the lip that goes straight down.
Yeah.
Salt and pepper.
Okay.
Wearing a wrestler hat.
All right.
A different wrestler shirt. Strapped over his shoulder, one of the authentic replica championship belts, which are
of
like
course, yeah.
$400.
Are they really that much?
Yeah. And because it's a legit leather belt and all the vinyl and the fabric,
Yeah.
and obviously nothing's cheap.
Do you think Redbubble has them?
Championship belts?
Championship belts. Yeah.
Oh, we need to. I'd
Like custom engraved.
APS 4.0 right on the wall. We take it to live events. When we're doing our show live.
Right, yeah.
People take pictures with the Steve and Kyle belt.
You know what would be fun?
It's just our faces.
Sidetrack. Minor sidetrack.
Uh-huh.
The next Free Beer and Hot Wings live show here in town,
Yeah.
we follow it up with a live Steve and Kyle recording.
So you think 10:30 a.m. We got all the equipment set up. We kamikaze in. We park at those 2 mics.
After the building clears out.
Want to make sure everybody gets out.
Yeah. And then we just sit down and record. Do you think anyone would stay for that?
I think so. Because I think they'd see you. And then they'd be like, "What's Steve doing with that other guy at a microphone?" And then they'd hear, the speakers would pick up.
Malt Shop Bop would play.
But do you think so? We'd have to do it, but we couldn't interrupt the process of what's going on. So whatever radio station there is literally disconnecting the speakers and stuff as we're recording, right?
Yeah.
So we just need our little whatever we record into.
Yeah, our little mixer here.
Get there early because we don't know when we're going to be cut off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that kind of a kamikaze live show.
Yeah.
We rip off their banners quick, slap up ours.
Oh, we have banners now.
Well, we're going to have to invest. I mean, we got to get our names out there somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we throw some leggings into the crowd, get some people's attention.
So instead of a T-shirt cannon, we have a leggings cannon.
A legging, but it's just our arm because we blew our budget. And the 2 people there are men.
I would love
so
to
they
do
don't
that.
know what to do.
Oh, I would love to have leggings. You have T-shirts? No, leggings. You want a mini skirt too?
Thanks for coming out to the live show tonight. Meet us at the merch table after we're done here tonight. For a nice, love to say hi to each and every one of you. Also, we'll have some merch out there for you. We've got some A-line dresses, some leggings, and some zip bags. You got any shirts? You got any shirts?
No.
Not at all.
Would you like a Steve and Kyle brassiere?
Steve's face on the left, Kyle's on the right.
And yes, we do call them brassieres.
Yeah. That's how it's listed. We're going to be proper about it. We're not children. So, like I said, the kids are at the corner. This man is sticking his hand in between us. So finally, happens a couple times, and instead of making a scene about it, I just start forcefully pushing back in my chair because obviously I know he's pushed up against the back of my chair, reaching his arm as far forward as possible to no avail. To these people, these wrestlers walking around, it's like a disembodied arm, just flailing,
just flopping,
right? And it's embarrassing. So he starts taking matters into his own hands, and after every match, when the kids would rush up there with their their goggles on from the whatever wrestler and shirts and posters and programs to get signed, he jumps into the fray,
of course,
with his belt over his shoulder, all 5'5" of them, Jesus, and starts trying to push his way to the front to try to get these, from 8 feet away in a ring where, an arena where some music's playing. And there's, hey, Daniel Bryan. Hey, Daniel Bryan. To no avail. Signs some kids stuff.
I'm shocked.
It's that type of thing that ruins it for everybody.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get to the point, it's like the videos that go viral of, the old man who takes the foul ball from the child at the baseball game.
Yep.
Eventually, it's not going to happen anymore. And two, you're going to become a sensation for the wrong reason.
Yeah, that I can't imagine being that old and being that into something.
Anything.
That is, I know that you're into it, but I think you also realize that wrestling, for the most part, is geared towards a younger demographic.
And especially those shows. Those shows are specifically meant for children who, because, going to Raw on a Monday night until 11 p.m. isn't going to be up their alley. Yeah. And 2, is much more expensive. And 3, wrestlers aren't coming around the ring after every match giving high fives, signing things, taking pictures.
Right.
All that doesn't happen. This is a much more family-oriented event. We were able to sit front row because it's a lot more affordable than a televised event or a pay-per-view or whatever. But yeah, I wasn't the one there standing up trying to get attention. It's just...
That's embarrassing.
It is.
It's just... yeah. Like I said, I just can't imagine being that into something.
And then there's people...
that I know is just not meant really for me.
Right. And now this arena we're in... couple thousand. So, you're familiar with the size of these venues. There's maybe 1,500 people there. The ring's a little bit smaller, and a lot of the people on these events are people who aren't on TV normally. Mm-hmm. And they still do these house shows, and that's how they make most of their money. One of them was a wrestler who is she's gorgeous. She's not the greatest wrestler, but that's not the fact that she's on this main roster and TV isn't her fault. She was called up. She's doing what she's told to do. So she's wrestling.
Just probably paying her dues.
Yeah.
Eventually, once she improves to
she's training.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, she's trying to learn. And
do you think a couple years from now she might be on TV?
Yeah, she's on TV now. It's just like she was probably brought up too soon. Right. Yeah. For being in a starring role is in due time. She has everything that... She looks like one of those 90s women wrestlers, bombshells, right? Mm-hmm. And that now they don't do them anymore, like with their bra and panties matches and things like that. So it's a different focus. She's getting better, which actually made me red in the face, embarrassed when 3 or 4 neckbeard guys who again paid admission to come to this event start chanting "You can't wrestle."
Oh, come on.
While this girl's in the ring.
Why are you there?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you have
ruining it.
every right. Like they want you to boo the bad guy and cheer the good guy, whatever. But man, to start that nonsense.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
That's
embarrassed.
embarrassing.
I was embarrassed. So I tried to yell words of encourament. Like,
Yeah,
I think your career.
because you know that she hears it.
Oh yeah, I think your career is going to work out.
I mean, not as catchy as what they were chanting.
Well, you could do it. You know, they have your career will work out. You know,
You might make it.
You're still pretty. You know, like, but that, I mean,
You're still pretty. I mean, the cadence is perfect.
yeah, it all works, right? It's all about the syllables.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's so embarrassing to
Yeah.
me. Like,
Come on.
it's, I don't know why I hate that, but I love, like, at a hockey game, chanting the goalie's name and then saying "you suck." But that's different,
I
right?
think it's
Is that different?
Yeah, I do. I think it's. I don't know. It shouldn't be,
Right.
but it is.
Yeah, and I don't know. I guess there is, well, inherently there is a difference between a scripted fake fight
Yeah.
and a non-scripted
Yeah, of
athletic event, you know, that makes it a bit different.
Yeah.
But
It's the fact that it's a female too is
oh man, I was so
that makes it
embarrassed.
different.
I was so
You
embarrassed,
know?
Steve.
She's a female in a, for the most part, male dominated.
Oh
arena.
sure, in an industry where females are set back essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, from what they dealt with in the '90s with those matches where it's like, hey, wrestle in your underwear, good luck.
Right.
And then they had a championship belt with a butterfly on it, and they were called divas. You know?
It had a butterfly on it.
Yeah, and so now it's like they're a lot of it is fighting for legitimacy still.
Right.
And so to hear four people who, you know what, in her defense though, they paid admission. What does she probably care? You know, it's not the first time she's heard insults. It's not the first time she's heard those calls.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it. But oh my God, was I embarrassed.
Yeah, that's rough.
Oh, and there was, oh man, sitting that close, I mean, you realize things, the wetness of everything.
like everything's just covered in a layer of sweat.
Hair and water too. I mean, you see guys walk out and what they do with their hair, it's like they just took a shower. I mean, and flipping it so there's water everywhere.
Yeah,
and
like Triple H used to do.
yeah, there's one of the wrestlers walks by and like I said, they walk in, they give high fives. I've never had such a scent of baby powder in my life.
Baby powder?
Baby powder.
Really?
No
Why?
idea why he was doused in it. Maybe he had some chafing with
Perhaps, yeah.
his pants. But then when he walked by the next time and the half-grown adult man behind me decided to try to jam his arm out for a high five, I don't know who's to blame. I have my suspicions. Like I said, on the way in, he smelled like baby powder. On the way out, this man sticks his hand out for the wrestler. The wrestler's giving high fives to whoever's hands there. There was the overwhelming scent that literally hung in the air for way too long, by the way, of some of the worst body odor I've ever had.
Well, I mean, that shouldn't... I would be more surprised by the baby powder scent.
That's why I don't think it was the wrestler, because he wrestled probably a 6-8 minute match, no big deal.
Right.
I think it came from this guy who
Oh.
stuck his arm so far in.
So you think that it was a transfer smell?
I think it was. I think he finally got his arm so far in between us to try to reach out for this high five from one of his heroes that it then lingered in the air right there. Oh, it was so bad. Do yourself a favor, man. I mean, there's
Never go to one of these. No problem.
There's no question.
I'm a little
We were the
disappointed.
most normal people
Why
there.
didn't you invite me? I would have gone to that.
I didn't buy the tickets, and they were very expensive.
Really? I thought that they were cheap because it was a house show. What's expensive for a house show front row?
Do you want face value or what we paid?
What'd you pay?
$200.
A piece?
Yes.
To sit front row at a house show.
Yeah.
Wow, when you were talking about how they make it family friendly.
Well, most tickets, I mean, front row face value, there's 100.
What about a regular seat?
25.
Okay. All right.
We're going.
Now,
You
what
and I
if-
are going
what if-
next year.
What about if we're talking if Monday Night Raw is in town?
Yeah. Front row,
Front row.
Front row, if you want in there, it's going to be $400 to $500.
Wow.
Because they do like packages with it now. So you get the chair, like, because it has the logos and designs on it.
You actually get to take the chair?
You get to take the chair.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
And a lot of them, they
nice for the APS.
You weren't kidding, right? Guest chair? Like, park in the corner. Hey, enjoy our WWE Live. Whatever.
Chair.
Folding chair.
Of course, it's 1 foot lower than all of our chairs, but that's just to put you in your place and make you know who the bosses are.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's more expensive on TV because, a lot of people, see me on TV. You look at.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are much more. There might be front row tickets just that won't get on TV that are more affordable than that. But in general, if you want to sit there, they're part of packages that most of them include meet and greets and stuff that none of those wrestlers want to take part in.
No, not at all.
And you should feel embarrassed when you're back there. Like,
Hi.
Going to get dressed.
I like when you did the choke slam one.
How's your catering? What are you eating today? My favorite moment was when The Rock was here.
Well, gotta go.
Cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
Like, I bet you it would be a sigh of relief to see someone act half normal at one of those events, right?
Yeah, like where they just say, hey, here with my kid.
Yeah.
This is something we do together.
Yeah.
We're both big fans.
Hey, they
Good job out there.
Hey, they love it. And I love watching your wife on Total Divas.
She's pretty hot. Right?
Right? Is she here?
Right? Like, up high.
Is she here? Right, good job.
Can I have her number?
No reason.
She's pretty.
You and I are going, man. Next year?
Are we doing the $500 meet and greet?
No, we're gonna use our connections. You work in the radio. We'll figure something out.
I guess.
We'll get our way.
All right. I did get to meet Daniel Bryan last year. I got to interview Daniel Bryan last year.
You're welcome.
I'm welcome for what?
How'd that interview have gone, Steve?
Oh, well, I mean, I came up with all the questions on my own.
Yeah, that's what I remember, too.
I even remember getting a little political with him, talking about...
You did? You break down the election?
Well, talking about how Kane was...
running for mayor?
Running for,
Hey.
the mayor in whatever county, wherever.
Yeah, Knox County, Tennessee.
Knox County, Tennessee.
That big oaf.
And he did it.
He won. You've had the Big Show in studio.
I watched Kane's speech after he won, and
right.
Boy, is he super right wing.
Yes, he is.
Really.
Yeah, he is.
Really right wing.
Very conservative there in Knox County, Tennessee.
Which I guess is not a surprise.
You've had conversations with the Big Show who's come in studio before.
Big Show was awesome. He was a great interview.
Enzo and Big Cass came in 2 years ago.
Right?
They're both canned. But no, that's what they're walking out. You say, "Hey, I'll walk them out, guys. No big deal." You walk them out. Hey, you guys got a couple extra?
Yeah, you want to swing by my basement?
I was thinking, you got a couple extra, backstage passes there.
While you're at it, come on a bigger show if you want.
I know you're a couple of single guys. You'd like to give these to a couple of females to come see you, but what do you think about two dudes?
Yeah, so both of them are gone. Enzo and Big Cass both
fired.
Both fired for
different reasons.
Well, one of them was pretty serious allegations, right?
Allegations of rape that were not charged, but he didn't bring them to the company until they found out about it in the news. Mm-hmm. The other one, just because he decided to not listen to direction in the ring in terms of, hey, only talk this long, don't do this. He did the opposite, fired him the next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You and I are going. We talked about it. SmackDown's moving to Friday nights next year at some point.
Boy.
We're going to a SmackDown show on a Friday night, whether it's here or wherever we can find in the state.
All right. I want the chair, though.
We're going to pony up for the chair?
No, I'm going to steal a chair from a kid.
Yeah, I'm on board with that.
We'll just dress up like, I don't know, like The Rock. And be like, hey, kid, give me your chair.
Wow. Well, I haven't seen, granted, I have not seen Jumanji. I haven't seen Skyscraper. I haven't seen Rampage, which would be The Rock's 3 most recent movies. He got real gravelly with his voice there.
Yeah. And he also got shorter, a little pudgier.
More hair. Less tribal tattoos.
Yeah.
Less calling people like brah.
In fact, if he were to be sitting in this room right now, you wouldn't even know it.
No, I mean, he's just, boy, times they change.
So
yeah, the big wrestling show. That was, yeah, you know what though? I had a lot of fun. I think we both did. There's something about the experience being there.
all that matters.
Even knowing what's, the results. It's still, and again, I'm there. I'm watching it a bit differently. I'm watching it now to see, like, and honestly, compared to when I was a kid, seeing people get thrown through the top of a cage onto the ring was like, oh, that's awesome. But now I close my eyes and turn away. I don't want to see that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about well-being.
He might have a concussion.
Seeing some people jump out of the ring, like through the ropes, and tackle someone. Like, oh god, it's concrete. Just like there's a rubber mat, but it goes to concrete really fast. Just watch out. You're worried.
Just letting you know.
But being up close and personal, it's so much easier to see how many times they miss, like fully.
Yeah.
Like kicks and stuff. Because you can't really kick someone in the face. I don't know if you know that. Like kicking someone directly in the head, that's tough to do
Pretty tough.
without injuring somebody.
Yeah.
So, but seeing like some of the people like miss, inches, feet, still make contact, and you just let the other person act it out.
Right.
That's so fascinating to me. It's such because it's moving
choreography.
It's moving art. I mean, really, to make sure nobody dies in there on a nightly basis.
Well, you're not the only one that had a incredible sporting moment recently.
Oh, did you play some frisbee?
I also no, I did not play some frisbee.
Did you get out in the tetherball court again?
I was frolfing.
You used to play squash, right, or racquetball? Did you used to
I
do
did
that?
play racquetball.
What happened? Did you
the
stop that?
The greatest action sport of the '90s. I played in 2010.
Now you sit down. You go. Did you go full white headband?
Like McEnroe?
Yeah, right. Did you bust out the whole uni?
No. I used to have fun.
Why'd you stop?
The gym that I went to closed, and it was they had a racquetball court.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there aren't many. Surprisingly, there aren't many racquetball courts around.
That's kind of, they have so many like public tennis courts you can go to, though.
Yeah.
I'm so kind of surprised that there's not.
Yeah.
Because isn't it just a tall wall?
Yeah,
Like that's it, right?
that's all it is. Yeah, and then glass behind you.
Yeah.
But it doesn't even need to be.
You don't
glass.
need it. Yeah, I mean, it makes the picking up the ball a little bit hard, more time consuming. But
No, but I went to that one gym that eventually closed, and then I got a membership at the Y. And,
Okay.
And that's expensive as hell.
took out a second mortgage.
It's like $100 a
Stupid.
month.
Unless
but for a while, for about 6 months, we had a deal at work where I think I got it for like $30 a month or something. So it was great. They had an indoor track. This is when I was still running a lot. So it was perfect. I would go to the one downtown, and it was a beautiful building, indoor pools, and I mean just basketball courts, everything.
Sure.
And but yeah, then the email went out saying, "Hey, the Y is no longer offering us those memberships." So I said, "See you later."
You're not paying that.
No, but this sporting moment came about 2 weeks ago on the softball diamond. You weren't there for the game.
Oh my gosh! How could I forget to even mention? We didn't have time last week. I didn't.
You missed the game. You missed the game last week.
Excited?
There was no game last week. We got rained out. You missed the game the week before, though, because of... actually, that's what I was thinking about. Remember, before we started recording, I said...
Something you had to talk about,
it's
right.
where you were for that softball game. Why you couldn't be at that softball game. Is there anything there that we need to talk about?
Oh, we can get to it next week.
Okay,
We're tight on time. Let's get to your athletic achievement.
So, the old team back out on the field for fall ball.
Team Remax, as usual, a few changes.
Yep.
A couple lost.
Yeah.
Our starting CrossFit shortstop taking at least a season off because he's had a child.
Yeah, new baby.
We still our title sponsor still not around.
Oh yeah.
Who else did we lose? We lost our starting first baseman. He got a different job. Can't be there anymore.
Yep.
As usual.
It's all right,
as
though.
the sands through the hourglass. Days of our
keep falling.
change and
So there we are. It's back out on the field for fall ball. Couldn't be more excited. New faces, new friends to be made. I bought a bucket
the big league bites
of Big League Chew, the bites.
How'd those go over?
Pretty well.
Yeah?
There's still plenty left. I think it'll last us probably half the season.
Now, I'm a personal fan of the fake tobacco kind.
I was hoping that's what it was going to be.
Yeah,
but
just bubblegum
no
bites.
Such luck. Yeah, it's it's a little basically a marble of bubblegum. So now, side note, when I was buying that at the sporting goods store a couple weeks ago, right next to it, there's actually knockoff Big League Chew.
Yeah, double bubble bites
called Dugout Gum.
Oh yes, that's.
I think I sent a picture of it to you.
Yeah, you sent it to me. Oh my God, that's right.
So this game, the first game 2 weeks ago, I don't remember what the score was. I don't remember anything. Actually, no, I do.
28-11.
There was a point where I walked up to the plate. Now this was pretty high scoring affair, as you just said, but we had a chance to mercy this team. Now I walk up to the plate. Old slugger Steve walks up.
Batting in the 2-hole?
Bat on his shoulder. Batting in the 2-hole.
I've got to have a talk. This is...
I did very well this game.
Okay.
So I walk up to the plate. The wind was insane the whole game, but it was blowing out. So I walk up to the plate. Your hero, Steve.
Music playing in your head.
Yeah, the music from... Hold on, I need to find
Not
it.
Iconic or anything because we're already winning by quite a bit. So this isn't going to be a walk-off hit into, comeback victory. You're literally looking to drive the final nail into the coffin, and you're referring to this as Hero Steve walking to the plate.
Yeah.
So it's, what inning we talking? 5th, 4th, 7th?
Don't know.
Well, you're mercying, so it's not the 7th. I know the final score, so I know it's probably the 4th inning is my guess, Steve.
There I am, walking to the plate. Bat on my shoulder. Runner on first base. Runner on second base.
Oh, boy, that's 2 runners on.
Runner on third base.
3 runners on? You get out of town.
First pitch comes in. Of course, I take it. I don't swing at the first pitch, except for the 50% of the time when I do swing at the first pitch. Second pitch comes in. I take that one, too. Third pitch comes in, and it's right in my strike zone, right in my sweet spot.
But it's already 3-1, right?
I don't know.
You said you took the first 2 pitches were outside the zone, so it's 3-1.
No, I think I don't know if one of them may have been a strike.
Okay.
Let's not get lost in the details here.
Okay. Sure. I don't want to get muddied up with exactly how it happened. Let's let the narrative by Steve take over.
Mm-hmm.
So it's either 2-2 or 3-1.
Crowd's going wild. Obviously, you hear them.
Upwards of a couple hundred people there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Pitch comes in. I swing. See, they were heckling me.
Yeah. Swing or get out of there.
Yeah.
Go back to Jersey.
Yeah.
You dirty scumbag. Take your tortellini with you.
I don't really remember him saying that. That pitch comes in.
Where's your top hat, Chef Steve?
I get a hold of that ball.
Oh.
I mean, he said right field. It was really left field.
It was left field, but that's what I'm hearing. Left field. Oh, no.
Well, no, not quite.
You hit a light.
I hit this ball further than I've ever hit a baseball in my life.
Oh.
295 feet.
Yeah.
Caught by the left fielder.
Oh.
On the warning track. I was feet away from hitting a grand slam and ending this game. I hit that ball, and I started my trot to first base, and I'm talking to the ball. I'm doing who was that, like Kirk Gibson?
Yeah, was that Carl Yastrzemski, I believe? or no, Carlton Fisk. Waving it fair.
Yeah,
waving it fair.
And
you're waving it out.
I'm waving it out, yeah. I'm trying to get some more wind behind
Waiting for that breeze to pick it up.
And I actually yelled, "Get out! Get out!" And then I saw the left fielder, because you can read the the language of the
Is he backing
players.
up?
He's backing up. Yeah, I mean, he was the first couple steps. He's running back, and then I saw him kind of stop, but he was right against the fence.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, he could be stopping, and then looking up as it flies over that 300-foot fence.
Is he on the way touching dirt? Some warning track
He's on
there?
the warning track. He's on the warning track.
Yeah.
Glove up, makes the catch, and that was it. We scored a run or two. We scored one run off of it, but
So you hitting the weight room this week?
oh yeah,
Getting that extra 5 feet?
yeah.
Was it a meatball? Where do you like it? Is it like low and outside, high and in? Where do you
No,
like the ball?
I like right over the plate, but a little high.
Okay, so you like the belt buckler.
Yeah, I like swinging at a high pitch.
Okay.
If that pitch had been a little bit lower and I'd swung up a bit more,
It's going straight up
probably to the moon, maybe.
and then to the shortstop.
Yeah, probably. So
You're getting there. You've been
that
close
was
a few times.
Man, that was about as excited as I've ever been on a baseball field.
So to recap, Steve,
Yeah.
the highlight of your athletic career was a 295-foot slow pitch softball out
Sack fly.
and out.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't the best. But
Maybe we need to get you back on that squash court.
you know something I did? I played well that game. I think I was 3 for 5.
Okay.
That's
600. So
no,
that's fine.
No errors that I remember.
Okay. Turning double plays?
Did we? I don't think so.
Let me answer for you. No.
I don't think we had the opportunity to.
Okay.
So,
It's a status quo. All right.
well, no. Usually there are the opportunities, and
I just can't figure it out.
Bungled them.
There's been an avenue of opportunities that haven't been your fault. There's one that I think we turned one, but the person had to do it themselves.
I turned one by myself one time.
Maybe that was what I'm thinking. But we've had Kevin throw a few away to second base. And
There are plenty of times where there will be a grounder to short. I'm playing second, so I run over, cover the bag. I get the throw from Kevin or whoever it is at short, and I go to make the throw to first, and I'm like, no, I'm not even going to bother because my arm isn't good enough. He's like, these are 60-foot base paths, so he's 3 feet from the bag. I'm not making that throw in less time than it's going to take him to get there, so I don't even bother. Maybe I'll start doing it just for the spectacle of it, just so I can say I tried.
Yeah.
But, my accuracy nor my velocity are quite there.
So Team Remax 1-0 in the
Team
fall
Remax,
season after winning the championship in the summer season. I'm surprised you guys didn't take a picture after that first win.
Well, if I had hit a grand slam, you would have gotten a picture of the team holding me up on their shoulders. And F you if you would have been mad about that. Because,
I'd have been mad.
Well, that would have been understandable, though, because how many grand
It's
slammers...
never gonna happen again,
how many
right?
grand slammers do we have on the team?
Outside of Denny's, you're never getting a grand slam. Am I right?
I think it's my goal to hit one over the fence this season. It's not going to happen.
No.
But it's my goal.
As the air gets, maybe it will help you. As the air gets less humid, a lot of times the ball will travel a little differently.
Yeah.
You just need to keep...
I need a nice crisp day. And I need to start out all the way in the back of the batter's box and really run towards the front
Run
of the
into it. So 1-0, we've already had a rain out. The schedule now says we're supposed to be playing slow pitch softball into the second week in October.
Nice. That's a true fall league. So we're at 8:15 tomorrow night.
There's no chance
Whistle
we're going to be...
Stop Park in Byron Center, Michigan. If you'd like to stop by, cheer on your heroes.
Yeah, we'll be there at 8:15.
We would appreciate it.
Against who knows who, because this league, it's all different teams because we switch nights. Maybe this is the time we get humbled.
No. I think we're going to do just fine, especially after my home run hitting power is...
That's coming into its own.
That's
right.
right.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's going to be nice.
Well, I'm glad to be back. Ready.
So are you
retirement season.
Wait, are you here tomorrow night?
Yeah. I missed last week. That was my last childbirth class.
I thought you were missing the first 3.
Nope, only 2.
All right. Well, I look forward to it. Look forward to seeing you there for what will most definitely not be your retirement season.
Retirement season. Walking away, guys.
No, you will not, because that's what you said last time.
Calling it a career.
Uh-huh.
Hanging up the cleats.
Yeah, sure you are.
Leaving them on home plate.
All right.
Leaving them on first base.
All right, why don't you go first here?
Gotcha. Okay. Ariana Grande.
Oh, yeah, with the bishop, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, that was
Weird.
I haven't seen the video of it. I've seen a still image. The still image, to me, looks fine. Mm-hmm. He's got his arm around her, but I've heard that...
It moves.
Yeah, I heard that
He keeps moving, and you can tell she's uncomfortable. That's
okay.
the key.
All right.
Kamikaze.
Maybe
I guess I could have clarified, but we'll hit it on the turnaround.
Yeah, I don't know.
And here, big news this past week in the music world.
Okay.
John McCain, funeral.
5.5 hours. That's a...
Couldn't eclipse Aretha's.
That's a... Oh, wait. No. Oh, am I mixing the two?
I think you are.
Hers was 5.5 hours. His was...
Well, he had the gall to have two of them, though.
Did he really?
He had one in Arizona because Bill Clinton was at Aretha Franklin's and John McCain's.
Really?
Because I think his Arizona ceremony was the same day as Aretha Franklin's.
Yeah, I've only seen clips from it. Seems like...
Pretty contentious.
Yeah.
Or pretty... not contentious. That's not a word. Contentious, yeah.
Yeah, that was a kind of strange.
Weird, right? For a funeral.
I guess that's the day and age we're in.
We never talked about this, but Louis C.K. Or did we talk about it?
Is he back? Did he do something?
A couple weeks ago. You didn't hear about what he did?
Oh, God.
Right, we'll hit that on the turnaround.
Just judging by that, I'm going to assume it wasn't like...
well, you know what? I don't know what to think. I'm not going to... I don't know. It's not up to me to decide.
All right.
And lastly, and most importantly, the news this week, the pumpkin spice latte.
Oh, boy.
It's back.
I've
baby.
never had one.
Didn't we... I believe we had this conversation 1 year ago.
Probably.
That we were going to have pumpkin spice lattes while we did the podcast because we'd never had them.
Next week?
Want to do it next week?
Pumpkin spice lattes?
So
we have to go to...
I can stop by on the way
here. So
here.
it's a Starbucks thing, right?
Is there a Starbucks in... Oh, yeah, right in the local grocery store.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go. I'll get us two... what do they call them?
Grande mocha latte... Costa latte.
What are they? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. What is it? How do they? Don't they have funny names for their sizes?
Like, venti.
No, I'm ordering a medium. Medium, good for you. You want a large?
I'll take the smallest one they have.
What if you love it? You're not guzzling off mine.
See, I'm not a coffee drinker. I haven't drank,
at all.
I haven't drank coffee in over 2 years.
Well, you gave it up with your heart issue, right?
Fart attack. Yeah.
You haven't had to have the itch.
Oh, every time I smell it, I want it.
So you're back in. I'll get you a large.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Steve, Kyle, some Uggs, a couple PSLs.
Oh, we're gonna be so basic and white.
Maybe you and I put on some way too large sunglasses. Sit down here and record.
Yeah, eat some avocado toast.
Just guffaw at the society not respecting us. Pumpkin spice latte. I believe Starbucks announced this last week. It came back this week already.
All right, that's I don't like anything. I like pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I never had it. I think I'll like it. Pumpkin spice is different than pumpkin flavor. Like, you've had pumpkin beer, right?
I don't think I have.
Oh, I hate it.
No, I don't think
I hate it, but I think pumpkin spice is a little more palatable. And listen, if every 17 to 35-year-old white woman can drink it, Steve, you and I can, enjoy one next week.
Yeah, why don't we do like a video review of pumpkin spice latte?
It's not a bad idea. What two grown white men think of the pumpkin spice latte?
Maybe it'll be one of those things that like goes viral.
Are we turning into Statler and Waldorf? Like you and I are just going to sit from afar?
A little bit.
Maybe that's why you should have stayed at Starbucks. Oh! For that Louis C.K., I think it was 2 weeks ago, or it happened before last week. I forgot to put it on my Fast Five. Showed up unannounced at a comedy club. Did a set.
How'd it go?
At the end of the night. Apparently got a warm ovation.
All right.
Typical Louis C.K. material. It did not address anything that has gone on, but has reignited the fervor among people, the internet and comedy fans, and people that should he or should he not have been there? Should he have been allowed?
Well, look, I think that obviously what he did, terrible.
Yes.
Like, not excusable. But bottom line, if he's going to have a career still, that's up to the people that either pay or don't pay to go see him.
So that's been the question.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say, oh, you were inappropriate to a woman or a ton of women or a bunch of women in his case. You can't have a career anymore. I mean, there's not, like, I don't think that you can say that. The crowd,
who's the arbiter, right?
His fans are going to determine whether or not he has a career anymore.
Right. So the determination has to be, has he paid enough penance for people to be okay? And based on the backlash, I would say most people think no.
It's been almost a year, right? It was last fall.
8-10 months, something like that, I think is what it's been. So yeah, and some of the women involved have spoken out, but I don't know. I don't know how to handle this. Is obviously somewhat uncharted territory since the Me Too movement became prolific, really.
And what I would want to know is what, if you are one of the women, one of the victims there, and I'm not saying this to be condescending, but what does he have to do?
Yeah, is there a way?
Is there a way for him to come back?
Yeah. Or
are you just, do you just want to say, no, he doesn't deserve to have this career anymore? But again, like, how do you can't tell the guy, like, sorry, man, you can't.
Right. That would be up to the bookers. That'd be up to the fans.
You can't do what you do anymore. Right.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be somebody who's going to book Louis C.K.
Right.
I would bet right now if Louis C.K. were to say, I'm ready to go back on tour, he would have 1 million calls and he would have a sold-out tour.
Probably.
Immediately.
I think a lot of the issue and the pushback on this has been people still aren't happy with his apology. Essentially, part of it was inferred that he said, well, yeah, I did these things, but I always asked first. Part of the apology. I don't know. Not my place, but interesting that he's starting to make his way back and work some material on the comedy club scene. I think part of the issue was people, it was unannounced, so they weren't really given the choice to be there, to attend or not attend, and be inferred as giving support. I don't know.
For comedy clubs, I think, I'm not huge into watching stand-up comedy. I don't go to comedy clubs often, but I think that's kind of normal. Like, hey, we got a special guest spot. This guy just showed up. He's going to do 10 minutes or whatever.
Right. I don't know how any of that works, but yeah, I don't know where to fall on that. I'm going to let the mob decide.
Yeah.
Before that, the John McCain funeral, the procession that ended in Washington, D.C., remained in state there for a little while. Notably, absent from the funeral, the sitting president, who was golfing. Yeah. Not invited. Important to say, he was not invited.
Right, exactly. I don't. Yeah,
that's more important. That's the more important part.
He was asked.
He was not invited.
He was asked not to be there.
Also notably absent, Sarah Palin.
I was curious about that. Did they have?
There must have been.
There must have been some kind of falling out.
There has to.
It always seemed like that was an odd pairing to begin with.
I feel like that was a pairing because John McCain needed a jolt, and Sarah Palin was the publicity jolt that ended up, immensely backfiring. But I don't know that they ever got along. There was an HBO movie about that, how it was not pleasant. Like Laura Dern, there was a lot of really good actors in it. Well worth your time with the McCain campaign. But the funeral, we talked about it, a bit contentious. Meghan McCain's eulogy for her father had a lot of shots about America's already great, while Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner were in attendance.
Yeah, I wonder if they're sitting there like, oh boy, that was for us.
But the second public event in a row, the show stealer, former President George W. Bush.
Yeah.
At the inauguration of Donald Trump last January, he had the umbrella flap.
Yep. Yeah. There's a series of photos of him with umbrellas inside out and upside down, completely cementing his that's just who he is. He's the goofy.
I don't care what.
He's the goofy grandpa.
Yeah. This might come off, and I don't care. I love him. I love that man. He is. Oh my god.
Everybody seems to love a former president.
Yeah, and he does the painting stuff now.
He just paints pictures of dogs and stuff, like dogs in canoes.
He's like, see ya, public life. I'm going to go paint this fishing dog.
Yeah. He's one step away from dogs playing poker.
Yeah, he is. What if he did a recreation? And he, but no, this time there was a very quick video of him grabbing something from Laura's purse, his wife, Laura Bush, and subtly sliding it into Michelle Obama's hand. People thinking it's a piece of candy. And he was like trying to sneak. It's like trying to sneak a note to your friend in third grade.
Yeah.
And that was George W. Bush at a funeral.
And it's probably like it was probably a cough drop or something.
Sure,
like
yeah.
that.
It's not anything that was nefarious. It was just the idea that he's like, it's like he knew he was on camera.
Right.
Yeah, he still did it, and it was still so noticeable when you look at the footage that he was like sliding or something. It just, oh man, the show stealer again, George W. Bush can't even let a funeral get the spotlight off of him.
No, not at all.
But yeah, the eulogies, a lot of people taking shots at President Trump in their eulogies of John McCain.
Yeah, Meghan McCain said something like, "Oh God."
Yeah, it was we don't need to make America great again. It's already great.
But then there was some like, my father was more of an American than some of the like
and some
some pompous
no holds barred man
who never served this country, something like that.
No holds barred for
Man.
Meghan McCain. Yeah,
But,
impressive.
Well, I mean, because I think a lot of people are saying like, oh, it's disrespectful. You shouldn't do that at a funeral. But
Who cares? It's her own dad. What am I going to tell her?
Exactly. It's if there's going to be somebody who's going to be offended, it's probably the family.
Yeah.
And since it's the family that did it, I don't know. They didn't really see McCain and Trump didn't really seem to get along in life.
Yeah.
So why would
it be different now?
Why would she say like, "Oh, my father really loved him" or anything?
God. Before that, Kamikaze. You didn't hear any? You didn't follow any of that?
Is that a movie?
Surprise album drop by Eminem.
Oh,
With no notice, happened day and date of whatever it was, Friday or Saturday.
Yep, I heard that he did a surprise record. I didn't know that that's what it was called.
It's mixed to positive reviews thus far. People pointing out, and I don't know why this is still a surprise, because it's been Eminem since Eminem was launched himself in the 1990s, where he used a homophobic slur describing Tyler the Creator, who is another hip hop artist, but he also took shots at, which is to be expected, Mike Pence. Donald Trump took shots at a couple other rappers. Is that the thing now? You have to drop a surprise. Everybody does it, right? The Jay-Z, Beyonce album. Kanye West is, I don't know, what's he release an album a week now when he records it 30 minutes in advance?
Yeah.
But I don't get it. What happened to the days where it used to be, a couple months build up and you'd release a radio single, maybe a second radio single,
maybe
drop the album?
Who knows? Maybe they've done the research and they see that this creates more of a buzz and they get what the hell? There's a new Eminem's got a new album, and maybe you get more impulse buys or something.
Maybe.
Who knows? There must be some. I mean, there's some method to it.
And
either that or Eminem at this point in his career is like,
who cares?
I don't care if
I've got this material.
I don't care if I sell 1 million albums.
Yeah.
It's probably a lot easier for an artist to do something like that now.
I've got this material. I like it. Put it out.
Here it is.
Well, when do you want to do it? I don't know. Tomorrow's good.
Yeah. Why am I waiting 6 months?
Yeah, and I think it's probably different. There's people aren't going to the stores waiting for CDs to be on the shelf.
The music industry is completely different than it was when the real Slim Shady came out in 1998 or 99 or whatever.
It's crazy looking at album sales back then. It's so much more diversified now. His second album or something sold 1.3 million in the first week. And now you're lucky to see the biggest artist in the world touch 700,000 in a week, and that's with a massive campaign. On first this week, Ariana Grande in the news at the Aretha Franklin wake, I guess, celebration, homegoing they called it.
Yeah.
And was brought up on stage, and I don't know why she was there. We're talking Aretha Franklin. We're talking Ariana Grande. It's a bit of a different thing, and this weird.
She did a cover of one of
right. That's right.
I forget what song it was.
But the weird reverend made a joke that when he saw Ariana Grande's name, he thought that was the new item from Taco Bell at the funeral.
Come on, man.
And then
read the scripture.
While he's doing this joke, he is holding Ariana Grande, his arm around her side, like kind of under her armpit.
Because it started, from what I read, it started out, he put his arm around her waist.
Already a problem for me. Like,
And
you just
then-
don't need to. Like, if you want to, rest your hand.
You know something?
on the upper back.
I won't even judge that because I don't know what they're.
Sure.
They may be very familiar with each other. They may be
based on the Taco Bell joke, I'm going to say not.
probably not. Yeah, but
still,
like, you put your arm around somebody if they're comfortable with it. Whatever. That's fine.
Let's say you meet someone though. You're going to put your arm around him, whatever, for a picture. You go waist. Or you go shoulder.
Shoulder.
You go shoulder. You don't go waist.
No, always
You're not
shoulder.
pulling someone. No, that's that. So that was like for me. That's like okay, it's a bit weird. And then but you're right. It went up. Next thing you know, it's kind of on her back, but around her, not around her arm, but inside her arm.
Yeah.
And then
like you said, armpit. Yeah.
as he starts to tell this joke, the video, you see his hand is almost all the way, like it's like an old scary movie skit type of thing,
Yeah.
where like the arm just kept extending and wrapping around until at the end, his fingers and most of his hand were digging into her breast on the side. Like there was no question, to the point where he had to, and you could see like the video, she kind of like side eyes him. And it looks uncomfortable. Now, I don't want to speak for her, but the look that she had was like discomfort.
I would imagine.
Because what do you do? Do you make a scene at a funeral?
No.
But she should be able to, right? I mean,
Yeah, she shouldn't.
She should be able to back away
Yeah, because
and say
he
something.
put her in that uncomfortable
Awkward.
situation. So
He issued an apology. It feels weird. So while clicking on the tweet about the article, you know, they have the comments, and one of the comments was, well, tell him how you feel, and they tagged him. So he's on Twitter. So I click on the guy's Twitter, and he's just like retweeted 4 articles with headlines about him doing this. Like he thinks it's publicity that he apologized for groping
I
a
wonder
woman.
if that's really his Twitter.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. That's a good question, but yeah,
Because
it's
I mean,
just
there
very
are
weird.
definitely opportunists who say like, "Oh, let's create," you know,
Right.
Because why would the bishop whatever?
Yeah, dude, new day and age. I don't know how any of that works.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's it. Ariana Grande. Yeah, but I don't think she ever made a statement. It's kind of surprising.
Yeah, if she has, I haven't seen it. Doesn't mean she didn't do it, but guess we'll find out.
Fast 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right,
Hit me.
it's week 1 of college football.
Oh man,
Need
big
it.
week. Big
So-
week, Steve.
So are you happy or sad with how your team?
Sad,
Okay, didn't they win? I thought they won.
Steve. It's not about the winning.
It's about the overall.
It's about how you got
performance.
there.
Okay.
And I got a lot to work on this week.
All right, you and the team.
Me and the team. Me and the guys.
You made a bunch of notes from the first.
Oh, I've got a spiral notebook full. College ruled.
Is it a Stephen Kyle spiral notebook
Well, the
available at
shop wasn't
stephenkyle.com if you click on the merch button?
And at this point, now I'd probably get one of those hardcover journals and use one of those available at stephenkyle.com. Just
Yeah.
find the merch button in the top right corner and click that and let your wildest dreams.
Perhaps relax under a duvet cover of Piano Pals. Available now at stephenkyle.com.
I'll tell you this. If you get a quilt with our faces on it and put it on your bed, you're an in-studio guest. Because I have to know what's wrong with you.
All right, we'll get back to college football week 1. Next, Labor Day. Labor Day. That's today.
Yeah, man.
Out here laboring for you.
Just remember why we have a 3-day weekend.
It's because of me and Kyle.
'Cause
Sitting
of
here
those-
talking into microphones.
Those soldiers
Yeah.
after the after war.
Next, Bishop Charles H. Ellis III. We just talked about that. That was the...
Yeah, feels a bit scummy. That's
Did you read his apology? Because it just...
I didn't.
I mean, his apology seemed genuine.
Did it?
was
Didn't
like,
have like a plug for his service, Sunday services on the bottom.
No, like RT, if you want me to send you an autograph or
Right.
something. No, it didn't. It seemed like a normal apology. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't actually seen the video, just the still image.
Right.
Still image seemed fine. I'll have to watch the video to actually form an opinion. Next, Meghan McCain.
Hey, man, you got the pulpit. Use it how you want, I suppose.
Yeah.
I can't tell her how to eulogize her father.
What does she do? Does she...
The View.
Oh, yeah, that is her,
I think
isn't
that's it. I mean, but honestly, I think she's an author. I think she's written a book.
But she's not involved in politics.
No, I don't think so.
Do you think that there will be a big push now? Like, oh, Meghan McCain, she's got to...
I guess a lot of times in the past, there's a story about widows and children of the deceased senator taking that seat until
Yeah.
it's filled. But as
argumentative as Congress seems right now, I bet you that would not fly.
Yeah.
I bet that Republicans see it as a chance to make it a hardcore Republican seat for the time being, and Democrats are probably thinking, hey, we can flip Arizona, in the next election, so we don't want that either. I don't know. Because why wouldn't everything be politicized?
Right, yeah. Finally, boy, I don't know how to say this name at all. Shohei
Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani.
Hey, the angel, the savior of baseball, Steve.
Yeah.
That's what they're calling him in some circles.
This guy is pretty incredible, right?
Yeah.
He's,
so he's the first dual threat in a lot of years. He pitches and he hits. Now, there was some concern earlier this season, Steve, that he was going to need some surgery. His
hurt himself.
UCL,
Yeah.
ulnar something nerve.
But he is the first player since Babe Ruth to pitch 50 innings and hit 15 home runs in a season.
Yeah,
That's pretty awesome.
coming in, most people thought he'd be a better pitcher than a hitter, but his hitting's been pretty good, and his pitching, he had to take time off because his arm is hurting, and there's still talk that he's going to need the Tommy John surgery, which would put him out for more than a year.
This is the first time in 99 years.
That's insane.
So it was he accomplished something that we haven't seen in the majors since 1919. After retiring 2 Houston Astros hitters, Ohtani hit a statistical threshold last achieved by Babe Ruth, again in 1919. 50 innings pitched and 15 home runs in a single season. So if he's not pitching, is he playing the field elsewhere? Or
no, he mostly DHs currently, especially with the like I said, the elbow trouble. They don't want him in the outfield throwing to home plate so hard. This is a kid who, now normally if you play in whatever that league is in Japan, you have to wait a certain amount of time, accrue an amount of time just to be able to leave and then sign whatever in the major leagues. He didn't do that all the way because he wanted to come over so bad. He took a very, very cheap contract. You see people taking, massive, massive deals, and it used to be bigger. Mm-hmm. But he took, I want to say it was like a couple million total,
right,
when he is in a few years going to be a 9-figure player, hundreds of millions of dollars probably when he's a free agent.
That's crazy.
So that's just how much he wanted it.
That's
to,
awesome
to be here. Yeah, it's
first player in 100 years to do that.
24 years old, dual playing both sides. That he told teams coming in, hey, I want to play, I want to pitch, and I want to hit. If you're not going to give me that option, I can pick where I play. So I'm just not going to pick you. So you're going to have to figure out a way to let me do that.
All right. Before that, Meghan McCain.
Yeah, good for her, I guess. Again, it's not my spot to tell you how to eulogize your own father. You can take your shots if you feel like it. Now, can some people think it's petty? Sure.
Yeah,
not my spot to tell you.
Many do.
Yeah,
many
not my spot to tell you.
But whatever. If you're good with it, I'm good with it. Bishop Charles H. Ellis III, the man who was leading the ceremony, leading the services for Aretha Franklin, got a handful of Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Which he first thought was a Taco Bell menu item. Ha 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 ha. Get it? Grande.
It's a grande meal. Right? You got some nachos, some tacos, maybe some fries.
Yeah.
Come on.
Burritos.
Laugh it up, Steve. Come on.
Labor Day before that. It's Labor Day. We're here working for you, folks.
Yeah, you know what? The grind never really stops, and when you sometimes you don't want to. You got to get up. You got to punch the clock. Mm-hmm. Another day at the office.
I don't want to work. I want to bang on the drum all day, as Todd Rundgren once said.
Todd Rundgren made it more clear. Spent Labor Day more than others, Steve.
Yeah.
Bang on that drum all day.
That is, Todd Rundgren, I believe, should be the face of Labor Day.
He really should. That riff should be the sound. Yeah.
Bang on the drum all
I got
day.
just blast from every stereo at closed offices.
And first on the Fast Five, Kyle, I need your college football recap.
My goodness, Steve. Let's talk Week 1 action. A lot of big games. Now, Week 1 notoriously known for teams scheduling cupcakes and nobodies, and nobody really cares.
Yeah, of course.
No more.
None of that.
No more. University of Michigan, Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Primetime game Saturday night. The Wolverines come out flat, end up losing to the Irish in a bit of an upset on the road.
You believe
Jim
that?
Harbaugh 0-16 in his last 16 road games against ranked opponents. I can't believe it myself. They're paying the man $49 million, Steve, and he can't win a road game against a ranked opponent. We ain't even gotten to Washington versus Auburn. It's number 6 versus number 9 in the first week of the college football season. A nail-biter. Washington.
Oh, God. It happened again? And that mic just... Whenever you go on one of those rants, it just stops working. I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
But Auburn speaks.
All right, another fun...
Week 2, big week, though.
Another fun episode this week. Remember, the big news, you can go to steveandkyle.com. Top right-hand corner, there's a little image of Stevie Tortellini. Click on that. You can get to our merch store. I don't really have any expectations for this. If somebody I'm already surprised that somebody has ordered something. Mm-hmm. But again, all of the proceeds, if there are any proceeds after Redbubble is paid and
Phillips paid,
it's all going to go towards APS 4.0. We hope to be in there sometime in the fall/spring of 2019.
Goal line moves. That's the way it works.
Well,
we haven't even talked about. You and I have a lot of work to do this week. We have to get a billboard moved.
Yeah, the billboard. We will have news for you next week.
Promise.
On location of the billboard.
And how much more you need to donate.
Well, here goes my microphone. It's falling once again. Okay, but yeah, thanks for listening. In the meantime, you can download, subscribe, and review the show on iTunes, the Apple Podcast app, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, Libsyn, steveandkyle.com to listen to the podcast. Get all the info on the podcast. All of our social media is there. Merch as well, steveandkyle.com. On Twitter, @steveandkyle. Facebook.com/steveandkyle. I think that's about it for this week. We will talk to you next week.
Yeah.